Thank you for tuning in to the Teacher Dudes. Whether you're listening as a podcast or joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, this is a podcast created by teachers for teachers that's full of some random thoughts, ed tech, tips, and tricks, and a general focus on education today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as your hosts Tyler Keefe and Jeff Anderson take it away. Well, Jeff, it has been a crazy, and dare I say, crazy week. How you doing on this fine Friday night?
I'm doing excellent. My week wasn't crazy. It was actually quite full, and I hope I have others like it.
Yeah, no, it. We were talking beforehand, and it sounded like you had a fun-filled week, I think would be a good way to say it there. Before we get started, though, on things, let's go ahead and take a second to introduce ourselves. My name is Tyler Keefe. You can find me on Twitter at Keefe67, and I am a technology integration coach here in Nampa, Idaho. Yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. Jeff, introduce yourself.
My name is Jeff Anderson, and I am a PE teacher in the West Ada School District here in Meridian, Idaho.
Sweet. Now, Jeff, tomorrow is going to be a milestone day for me. Do you know what tomorrow is going to be?
What is tomorrow going to be, Mr. Keefe?
Tomorrow will be day 30 of hitting the gym, working out, and getting things back in order in that front.
Very good. I'm still working on day one.
You're still working on day one?
I'm still working on day one.
Well, you can always start today. After we're done here, start tomorrow. Okay. I keep sending you the pictures of my workouts to kind of send you some inspiration there.
I've seen the end results, the numbers that you have posted from your workouts, and my resentment for you is getting more and more.
Well, is that because of the workouts, or is that because I cheer for a winning team, or what's it gonna be? What is it?
That's for the workouts, dude. You're showing me up.
Okay.
You're showing me up. What the heck?
Well, I do what I can. I do what I can. I know. But we do have a guest with us tonight, Jeff, and let's bring him on. So we are going to bring on my good old friend, Mark Pendleton, who currently resides up in Washington. So, Mark, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Why, hello. My name is Mark Pendleton, and I am a middle school math and science teacher in the Pasco School District in Washington State. And I am a longtime friend of Tyler Keefe here. So I've had a lot of the privilege of knowing the legend that is Tyler Keefe for a very long time.
So long-time listener, first-time caller kind of thing?
Yeah, you could say that.
And well, speaking of, I'm going to throw something on the screen here, and I just need to see your first reactions to this.
All right, let me see this. What?
Yes.
Is that one Sue Laws?
It is Sue Laws, the legendary Sue Laws.
Man.
I don't know of this legend.
Oh, I don't know if we have enough time to tell you the legends of Sue Laws.
All I could say is Sue Laws, she made a mean lasagna.
Oh, the lasagna. Let's just take a moment of silence to remember the lasagna. Man, so good.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
The other thing about Sue Laws is that she was a notorious prankster. And
she was.
She forever tormented me with her June bugs that she would collect at her house.
Ooh, I forgot about the June bugs.
Mm-hmm. I've I've had quite a run-in with June bugs at her house, and I was attacked. Let's just to say that I was attacked, and those things, I hate those things. They like hiss at you and do all kinds of crazy things, and so one time just hanging out at her house, and I got attacked by this June bug, and then I got so scared. I was sitting out in a car out in front of her house, and then so I got attacked by it, and then it was in the middle of the night too, and then it latched onto my finger and started hissing at me as I'm looking at this thing, and I threw it out the window, and because I was like freaked out because of this monster was attacking me, and that thing just kept on coming back at me. It just kept on trying to fly right back into the car, and that June bug tormented me. And Sue Laws thought that was the funniest thing. She just would sit there and always bring up that, and she even made me a June bug ornament for or something to hang up in my house. It is right now. I'm a little terrified myself just thinking.
Well, and as you're telling that story, and I'm laughing because that's just it's hilarious. Like I don't even know what to even say about that. But she's sending this in, LOL. She's just laughing at you still. Like, what do you say to that?
She just torments me. But you know what? I still appreciate the legend she is.
Oh, she is a legend.
And I can't wait to just stop by and just chill at her house and visit, and I don't know, whatever.
That reminds me of something. And Jeff, we'll get back to you here in a second.
Yeah.
And maybe Jeff, let me paint a scenario here for you, and let's just hear your response at what you would do at the situation, okay?
All right.
So let's say that you're just, at your house doing your thing, doing whatever, and you get a knock on your door, and you open up, you see two strapping young men that look a lot like me and a lot like Mark. And they look you dead in the eye and say, "Do you have any cereal?" What would you do?
I would probably close the door, lock the door, go get cereal, bring it back, open the door, hand it to you, and close the door again while I'm trying to keep the dogs in at the same time.
You would not invite us in to have a bowl of cereal with you?
That would be a definite no.
Ah, man. Now, Mark, how many times did we do that?
I think I ate many of bowls of cereal at Sue's. I think you probably had more than me, but
oh, of course.
But I did have several times. I think I had a good, nice bowl of cereal.
Oh yeah. And as I was telling that story, my wife in the other room, she sends me a text. She's saying, "Strapping young men that look a lot like you and Mark," with the laughing, crying emoji. She even said 3 of the emojis. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can actually. That would.
Well yes, I know you can, Jeff. But you're a Duck fan, so it happens.
Well, come to the Duck side, Keith. Come on.
So speaking of ducks, Mark, I see you have an ugly hat on as well. It's on your head. It's on your head. It looks like
this?
Yes.
I don't think it's ugly. I think it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. But it's a hat of power, of strength.
Is that a cougar hat?
That is. It's a
That is.
WSU Cougar hat. I went there my freshman year in college, and so I did not graduate from there, but I did attend. So I guess I could call myself a Coug. I can't call myself an alum.
Well, see, there's a debate about that because on one hand, alumni means you graduated from there.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it also means you took classes there.
I did take classes there. You know, I've actually just thought about going out and just getting my doctorate degree in education from WSU, just so I can be called an alumni. I don't really care about. I mean, there's no reason for me to get my doctorate, but other than I just want to be an alumni.
Well, and then we could call you Dr. Pendleton.
Yes, I would like that, and I would make you do that because that's what the.
Well, I just want to know who Keith's gonna root for when the Ducks playing the Cougars.
Well, that's easy. When the Ducks are playing the Cougars, I'm rooting for the Cougars.
Oh, come on.
Really? Anything but the Ducks. Anything but the Ducks.
Even
Mark,
the Boise State Broncos? Even the Boise State Broncos?
Over the Ducks any day.
Oh, man.
So Mark, Sue Laws would like to know, did you pass any of their classes?
Well, it's WSU. You just have to show up and you pass.
That's true. That is true. That is true. But yes, back to what you're saying, Jeff. If the Ducks were playing BSU, I'm rooting for BSU.
Wow.
If the Ducks are playing
Alabama,
I'm rooting for Alabama.
Oh.
If the Ducks are playing Blue Mountain State Community College, let's go Blue Mountain State Community College. I mean, that's just how we roll. But are we ready for a little bit of
bugs?
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, you were talking about.
No, you're good. Bugs. You're good. Go ahead.
My family went to the Midwest, and we got to discover cicadas. I don't know if you guys have ever seen cicadas.
No.
They're big. They hang out in trees. They fly. They're loud. And when you try and pick them up,
they bugs?
Yeah, they're bugs.
They're huge bugs.
Yeah. Ooh. And when you try and pick them up, they spit out this or pee out this stuff that it's gross. And we had one get caught in the van and we couldn't find it. And the last thing I want to do is be driving down the highway at 65, 70 miles an hour and have one of these suckers decide they're going to fly around me. So we tore the van apart trying to find it. We could not find it.
So is it like this? These guys right here?
Cicadas, yeah. I'm assuming so. I only saw them once. And they only come out every 7 years or something like that. But we were at this hotel or this motel, and there was this huge, huge oak tree, and they were just packed, and it was loud. Ooh. It was really loud.
I don't know about that one.
They can't hurt you any, but they're just.
I think I still would face one of those instead of a
June bug.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this thing. Look at oh. I don't know. Ooh. I can't look at that. Though I can't.
Yeah, I didn't get that close up to him. Yeah. But we did try and catch lightning bugs while we were over there. Well, I couldn't get the knack. I had the jar. I had the lid, and I couldn't catch one.
There's only two places I've experienced little fireflies. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, fireflies, lightning bugs.
Fireflies. Yeah. One was in Minnesota, and the other one was in Virginia, right on the coast. They have them.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I caught them. They're kind of cool looking.
Oh, you did?
Well,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are cool looking.
hey, before we get into game time here with Zane, Sue Laws is asking you, are you okay, Mark?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Sue Laws, let me be very clear about this. I am never okay. Never. Never. But you know that, don't you? You know that I'm never okay. But that's all right. I'm good.
He's good. He's good. All right. Well, let's move into game time with Zane. Now, we did not get a recording of Zane because he was playing Uno in the other room, but we have some questions from him though. I can't talk because I'm still trying to recover from those cicada bugs. But are we ready for game time with Zane?
Yeah, let's bring it on.
All right, so here is question 1, and we're going to start with you on Jeff and then go to Mark and then to me.
All right.
Question 1, what was the name of your first car?
Now, are we saying was our car named, or what kind of car did we have?
What was your car's nickname?
Oh, I didn't have a nickname for my car.
Nothing?
No.
Oh,
1969 okay. Chevy Nova. Midnight Burgundy.
I mean, that's a good car. Good
car. 3-speed on the floor. Yep. 60 series tires in the back.
But no name.
No name. Changed it from Cortez Silver to Midnight Burgundy.
Speaking of Novas, one Sue Laws. Don had a Nova. What year was that? Was that a 73?
Well, Sue Laws is saying a 66 Chevelle, no nickname. But yeah, I think her son Aaron had I think it was a 73 Nova. And she'll correct us if we're wrong there, I'm sure. But yeah, so Mark, what was the name of your first car?
Oh man, mine was the Cachero.
Ooh, the Cachero.
The Cachero. It was a 85 Ford Escort hatchback that I bought off my cousin for I think $500. And that thing was a beast, and it had all the things that the ladies loved. It had the cowl seat upholstery. It had I had this cactus that was sitting on the antenna that would flop around. I had some fuzzy dice in the hanging around the mirror. And the electrical system was all messed up that when you turned on the lights, it would also turn on the radio. I mean, it was just a chick magnet. And
oh, wait.
What?
Chick Magnet. That was the name of my first car.
Oh, wow.
Which coincidentally was an 89 Ford Escort.
An 89 Ford Escort.
That was my first car, the Chick Magnet.
Did it have the louvered
I remember that.
Window?
I remember that.
No, it was a 2-door hatchback.
No louvered back window?
No.
Oh, all right.
Mine was it was a 4-door hatchback.
It's true. It is true.
A 4-door hatchback?
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
The era of the muscle cars is laughing at both of you right now. So
it's true. It is true. Okay. Are we ready for question 2? And we have 4 questions. These are 2 good ones so far. We ready for question 2?
Yeah,
sure.
Let's go.
All right. Question 2, steak sauce or ketchup? And let's start with you, Mark.
Well, I think it has to depend on what you're putting it on. Is there any clarification on what we're putting this on?
Let's say a steak.
Oh, okay. So steak sauce all the way.
All the way?
Yep. And I'm partial to A1, but I can go with other steak sauces as well.
Jeff, what do you think?
I'm going to go with neither. If I'm eating steak, I'm putting some horseradish on it. I am not doing steak sauce or ketchup.
Ooh, Jeff, man,
horseradish with just a little bit of sour cream mixed in, just to give it a little creaminess.
That's quality.
That's right.
I usually like to put like saute onions and mushrooms and like jack cheese or feta cheese or not blue cheese, blue cheese on it.
What about goat cheese?
Well, you can't go wrong with goat cheese either.
It's true. Jeff, do you like goat cheese?
I do. I had goat cheese pizza for the first time several years ago, and I was like, where has this been all my life? Oh my goodness, goat cheese is good.
It is good. It is
now,
really
do not take that cheese that's wrapped individually in plastic wraps. Keep that crap away from me. That is not American cheese. When I just watched a video of a hamburger being cooked, and the next thing they did was they unwrapped American cheese and put it on it. Like, no, get that off of there.
No.
Well, that actually brings us to our third question here, which is McDonald's, Carl's Jr., Chick-fil-A, or other. So on this one, I am actually going to say other, because there is a little place back home up in Yakima. It's called Miners. And Jeff, if you have never had a Miner burger, you're missing out.
All right.
Like that is, oh man, the
one
big
of those
Miner,
little places that's been there like forever.
It's been there forever, and that burger is the size of your face.
Yeah. Kind of like that Tasty Freeze place here in Boise, down off State Street.
Yeah, not. I mean, sure, but yeah, there's just something about going to Miners. Mark, what do you think?
Well, I do love Chick-fil-A, but I don't have one of those around my house. So if I'm trying to think about something that I enjoy locally, does it has to be a burger place?
No, I mean, other could be anything.
Other, okay. Well, there's a restaurant local called McGill's, and they do all kinds of things with cougar cheese. So
now I cannot stand WSU, and Sue Law says McDonald's, but whatever. We're just going to discredit that. Cougar cheese. I cannot stand anything WSU, but cougar cheese is legit the absolute best cheese I've ever had.
It's amazing. I actually had a friend I went to WSU with, and you know him, Big Josh, who worked in the cheese factory. He got a concussion because one of the pallets fell on his head in the middle of him working. I was his roommate, and I had to keep him awake. So he got crushed by a pallet of cheese, cougar cheese. One of his many concussions.
I don't think I've ever heard that story.
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah. But, so this place, McGill's, they make a cougar mac and cheese.
Ooh.
So they do all kinds of mac and cheese with cougar cheese in it. They also have this buffalo dip cougar cheese. It's amazing. They do their own little fried tortillas, chips to dip in it. It's really good. Local place. Only one around.
It sounds fantastic. Next time I'm up in your neck of the woods, which hopefully soon after, COVID goes away,
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to hit that place up.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeff, you can road trip with me.
All right. I'm game.
But Jeff, so McDonald's, Carl's Jr., Chick-fil-A, or other?
Well, I'm going to go with other. If you've been in Portland and they only go as far as the Dalles, there's a place called Burgerville.
Ooh, Burgerville.
And they have a sauce that my friend and I coined slop. And we would order burgers with extra slop on it. And that place is good.
Now, Burgerville. Can I tell you a story about Burgerville, Jeff? Jeff. Good grief, too many J names.
All right.
So my friend Josh, different Josh than Mark was talking about. My friend Josh, we one night, it was after finals in college. We were like, "Hey, let's go to Burgerville." Out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere. And this is when I was living in Yakima.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, well, I go, well, why stop there? I go, your parents live in Salem. Let's go down there. And he's like, okay. So we're like, are we being serious? And the next thing we know, we go, well, why are we going to stop at Salem? Let's go all the way down to San Francisco. So no joke. This was at about 6, 7 o'clock on, whatever night of the week it was. We hopped in the car, drove to the Dalles, had Burgerville, which it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we keep driving to Salem, stopped at his parents' house, had some amazing chocolate chip cookies, and kept driving to San Francisco. And we get into San Francisco about 9:30 or 10 or whatnot in the morning, and had lunch, went to Alcatraz, and drove around San Francisco a little bit, and then drove all the way back home. And that was the end of that story.
That's one of the best road tips right there. Just get out and go.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
So Burgerville, a long time ago, this is one of my favorite stories of Burgerville is way back when drive-thrus first became a thing. Nobody really had drive-thrus, and suddenly a few restaurants started having drive-thrus.
What year are we talking to here, Jeff?
Oh, I don't know. 1983, 84, somewhere around there.
So when I was in my mother's belly.
Yeah, shut up. All right. Anyway, so Burgerville decided they were going to build a drive-thru, but the way they had their restaurant configured, they had to build the drive-thru so that you ordered through your driver window, but you had to pay and receive your food through your passenger window.
Ooh, how are they going to do that?
Well, they did it. So you would have. What's that?
Miners is just like that.
Is it?
That's true. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had it like that for years until they finally switched it.
Huh.
Yeah, and now
That's
that Burgerville,
crazy.
unfortunately, is gone. They closed it down.
History is gone.
Yep. But my daughter always gets mad at me because for a while I did not intentionally call it this, but now I intentionally call it this. I always say Chick-fil-A. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. She's like, it's Chick-fil-A. No, it's Chick-fil-A. I used to call it Chick-fil-A because I thought it was called Chick-fil-A. And then I found out it's not called Chick-fil-A, but I still call it that. So there you go.
Well, it happens.
I gotta just keep teasing her because that's just what dads do,
Oh, it's true. It is true. And didn't you say if we were to go back to this question here, question 2, wasn't there something kind of strange about what she does with ketchup?
She ruins bacon. She dips her bacon in ketchup.
I don't know.
I could get behind that. I like a little bit of saltiness from the bacon, a little sweetness from the ketchup, kind of mixed together.
The only way I'm dipping bacon in ketchup is if it's turkey bacon, and that's just to cover up the flavor of the turkey bacon. That's all it's for.
Well, yeah, I mean, why are you eating turkey bacon to start with?
No, I know, right.
Yeah. What is turkey bacon?
I'm not sure.
Cardboard.
Oh.
All right, we ready for the last question here?
Yeah.
All right, Mark, this one is for you, and this was from Zane. When was the last time you cleaned your belly button?
Well, I usually like to keep my belly button fairly clean and on a routine cleaning schedule. So I'd have to go. Let me check my belly button cleaning app. Let's see what. Yeah, it was on Tuesday, and then I have a new cleaning tomorrow, actually. So tell Zane that Tuesday was the last official scrub down in there, and then Saturday we'll repeat the process. Use appropriate moisturizers afterwards, and we'll see where it goes there. It is always important to have proper belly button hygiene.
It's true. It is true. Now, Jeff, I'm not going to ask you that question because that's more of an inside joke kind of thing.
Well, I was just going to say mine kind of coincides with laundry month. So,
but like it's just a random thing from back home that we, just one of our things. And when Zane was born and I would FaceTime with Mark, Zane got a kick out of showing Mark his belly button, and Mark would do the same. Mark, please don't show us your belly button now, though. Although, no, we don't want to get banned off YouTube.
No, yeah, they do they got those censorship things, right?
It's true. It is true. But anyway, so let's shift gears here. So we're titling this episode 7, The Conquistador. And the Conquistador brings us back many, many years, Mark. And the Conquistador, and wait, what is that in the background? I think I can see it right there. Is that the original Conquistador lamp?
This is the original Conquistador lamp, in all its glory. I'll turn it on just briefly because it makes it real dark in here. Maybe it'll work. There we go.
There we go.
So this thing still works after all these years. This is a family heirloom of mine. Growing up as a young boy, going over to my grandparents' house in Yakima, and in their little back room, their back TV room, they had this Conquistador lamp, and it kind of sits on a little pedestal and stuff like that. And I was just amazed at this thing. I thought this was the most amazing looking thing ever. And so I told my grandparents, like in high school, I said, when you guys pass away, there's only one thing I want. I don't want anything else. And I just want that Conquistador lamp. And luckily, I did not have to wait till they passed away. They gifted this to me on my wedding day. And it has forever since been in my man room in all of its glory. And I actually have another piece that was just recently given to me in the last few years.
Ooh.
You see it?
What is that?
That is a Conquistador painting.
Oh, wow.
Well, not even a painting. It's like a bust that pops out.
Wow.
Yeah. I got that from one of our mutual friends, Annie. And
yes.
Those two things are on either side. Typically, I usually have them on either side of my television in my man room. And I just, when I look at them, I just remember that feeling of power and strength that they bring me.
I can't. That's
doing
just
all right,
fantastic. Keith? Yeah, I'm good. So many memories of the Conquistador and the new edition. Jeff, what are your thoughts on the Conquistador?
The only thing I could think of is when I watched Christmas Story and there was the leg lamp, that the Conquistador and the leg lamp would go good together, on either side of the couch.
I could see that. I definitely could see that.
And I was wondering, Mark, I was wondering, is it in your man cave because you want it there, or is it in your man cave because your wife won't let it anywhere near anywhere else except for the man cave?
Good question.
It's pretty much because of both. I want it in here because this is where I hang out to get away from the family. And but then, yes, my wife has banned it.
I can't imagine Heather doing that.
Well, she supports me. I can't. She supports me in a lot of things, and but sometimes she doesn't always support me in my fashion statements and my interior design ideas. So I told her, well, if I'll let you have the rest of the house if you let me do my man room. And so my bedroom has flowery print on the bed. And, I'm not excited about that, but at least I got my Conquistador lamp right next to me down in my man room.
Yes.
Keith, you're losing it, dude. Get it together.
I am. No, it's one of those things. Mark, you mentioned the Conquistador bringing you this feeling of power and all of that. And, with us being the teacher dudes, and, you're a teacher as well.
Yes.
How do you channel that power into the classroom?
Well, one of the things I sometimes try to do is I psych myself out before I start the day. I look at myself in the mirror and I say, Mark, you are an amazing teacher. It doesn't matter if the kids laugh at you or throw things at you or put those tacks on your seat or spit in your water bottle or try to write those mean pictures and words up on the whiteboard or file those complaints against you. You are a great teacher. And I just look at my Conquistador and I said, that's me in the classroom. That's me in the classroom. Strong, mighty, powerful.
Strong, mighty, and powerful. Yes. Now up there in Washington, are you guys back in the classroom? Are you guys still virtual, or where are you guys at?
We are still virtual. We
And yes, Sue Laws just said that your speech right there made her teary.
Oh, let's see. I knew she would love that. We're still virtual at the middle school and the high school, at least till the end of this. At the end of February is when we are going to go back to a blended model.
Okay.
So we will be splitting up our classes, and half of our classes will be going 2 days a week, and the other half will go 2 days a week.
So in that hybrid model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you do the hybrid in that situation, are you going to be expected to be teaching the other half of the class like virtually at the same time, like a hybrid synchronous, or are they going to be like kind of like a hybrid asynchronous, or what?
I think what my district has kind of decided is that they're going to, anybody who's decided to stay online and not come in, because they're giving the students a choice there, that they would probably be put into their separate classroom, taught remotely by a different teacher.
Okay.
So I will probably most likely just be teaching in person. But my afternoons, I still have to do some online teaching. So to start with, they are only going like in the mornings, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I asked that because I put the comment here on the screen from the Sons of Technology, which is a group that I'm in, of a group of teachers, and their episode that's going to be premiering tomorrow. So if you're listening to this later, it's their episode that's premiering on January 30th. They were actually talking about this, of what hybrid means, and they had some really, really good thoughts of, does hybrid mean, like I was asking you, does it mean you have a group of kids in the physical classroom and you have the rest of the kids on a Zoom call? Or, you have the group of kids one day and then you're teaching the exact same lesson the next day where the other kids are, flip-flopping kind of a thing. So it's really interesting because as I was listening to them on their recording, there's so many different thoughts of what hybrid is. And Jeff, did you guys really ever go hybrid, or was it kind of just remote and then let's go back full face-to-face?
So in elementary, we really weren't. Let's see here. We really weren't hybrid too long. I think that some of the older grades were hybrid. We were probably like that at the beginning of the year, but yeah, we've been face-to-face since Thanksgiving ended. So.
And have you guys, where you're at, have you guys had like any major, I shouldn't say major, because really with any of the COVID stuff, it's been kind of minor, but have you guys seen or ran into many issues with contact tracing, or, having to have kids in quarantine, that kind of stuff?
Not that I'm aware of. No. So far, as much as I know, we haven't.
And Mark, your wife Heather, she works at an elementary school. So have they ran into any issues? Are they still hybrid? Are they face to face? What are they in right now?
They are in a hybrid model right now. The elementary is. So she's seeing half of her class on Monday and Tuesday, and the other half on Thursday, Friday. I haven't been told that they've ran into anything major or issues. There might have been some kids who got sick or contracted it or whatever, but they haven't really said anything, or my wife hasn't really said anything. So I think for the most part, it's been going pretty well.
No, that's good, because we all know that we need to have our kids in school as much as possible. And it's, when Jeff and I created this, we said that we did not want to get things to be political at all. And, it's an interesting topic because it's one of those things like, have kids really been the, spreaders that they've said? Have they not been? Like, should, it's one of those things that it's really tough to really figure out where you sit on this issue. And one thing we know is, despite all the advances, despite all of the innovation and everything surrounding remote teaching, in the hybrid model, all of that, I think all three of us can agree that the best spot to have kids is in our classrooms, and being able for us to really work with them directly versus behind a screen.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
I would agree with that. We've had, having been doing online all the way halfway through the year, still online, we got a lot of kids who are struggling with this, and they are struggling to be motivated to get their work in. They're struggling to learn the concepts. My fear is that some of them could potentially lose a whole year or not more of education if they don't get caught up or find a way to get remediation done. So it is something that I am concerned about. And I don't know what the correct answer is necessarily on how to go about that in the most safe and effective way. But I do think we can clearly see that the online stuff is not working for quite a bit of our students.
Yeah, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago, where for some kids the online environment does actually work, but it's not the majority of kids. And for in your district, Mark, what are you guys doing? What are you guys, how are you reaching out? How are you engaging those kids that, just like you said, that just aren't really there? They're not engaging, they're not finishing their work, or, et cetera. How are you doing that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think we've yet figured out how to do that. We've done a couple things. We've had parent meetings. We've had home visits. We've even brought in some of these kids on a limited basis to get one-on-one or smaller tutoring. But we're still seeing quite a bit who are, even after making attempts to get them engaged, they're still not engaging. So it is a struggle, and I don't think the administrators or teachers have a clear idea, because really we don't have the control at this point. We don't have any control over what a kid does at their house.
Right.
So if we can't be sitting right there with them, it's hard for us to do anything to help them be successful.
Now, Jeff, I'm going to throw a different question, but similar towards you. And this comes up, it got brought up on that Sons of Technology recording that happened earlier tonight, and from Joe Marquez, who's going to be a guest on our show next week, hopefully, if we can get that worked out. But he was saying at the beginning of all of this, at the beginning of the remote learning and all of that, like, are you going to have your students in front of the computer screen just like they would in a normal day with the bell schedules and stuff like that? So Jeff, based off what Mark was saying there, is it that's kind of a situation where a kid has to raise their hand on a Zoom call or a Teams call, which I know you guys have, and we lost your camera there. But is that something where a kid has to raise their hand to be able to go to the bathroom, to be able to do that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Which we might have lost Jeff altogether. So I'm going to remove him here until he can get back in. I'm going to send him a message as we go. But so same question there for you, Mark. What are your thoughts on that? Do the kids have to ask to go to the bathroom, or what do you guys do
when they're online?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't really, I've had a few kids ask that. They usually just do it in the chat. They're like, "Hey, can I go to the bathroom?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to stop you at this point." And most of them
at their house, right?
Yeah, most of them they're going to be able to do it without me even knowing anyways. They just turn off the camera and turn off the mute or the sound, and we can't require our kids to have the cameras on.
Mm-hmm.
And so they could ghost us if they wanted to.
Right.
They could just log in and walk away, and some kids have done that, but so I don't really have if they ask, I'll say yeah. If they don't ask and they go, I don't know. So
right. And with that, so Mark, early on in this, I honestly cannot believe that it's been almost a year since all this started. And I remember early on, you and I were talking about this stuff, and I was trying to walk you through some of the stuff with Microsoft Teams and all that stuff. And it's crazy, but it's crazy to think it's been over a year, or almost a year, sorry. But in what ways do you think education has actually improved because of this? And what kind of things are you going to actually keep in your classroom post COVID pandemic?
Well, I think it's the good things about it is I think it's forced a lot of teachers to increase their use of technology, obviously learn new skills, how to do things electronically versus just the old traditional paper and making copies and doing whatever, reading out of a book or whatever. So that element is, I think, going to be valuable going forward. Other ways that it's been beneficial is just learning new programs that are going to allow kids to express and show what they know. So there's a lot of programs that I've started learning, and implementing in, and my students have been able to show what they know in creative ways and unique ways that I wouldn't never have been able to do before, because I never really thought about it,
Do you have any like specific platforms, programs that you have used that you've seen that have worked better than others?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're finding is, because we are a Microsoft school, we had Microsoft Word and we had Teams, and we were sending a lot of their assignments through Word documents and whatever through Microsoft Word. And as a math teacher, a lot of our students struggled to show their evidence on Microsoft Word, show their evidence of learning and stuff like that. So we were able to use some other programs. I used a program called GoFormative, which allowed us to allowed the students to do a little bit more in showing their evidence. They were able to handle it a lot better and format their work a lot better. So that has definitely been one program that has been successful with my students.
No, GoFormative is something that I learned a few years ago, And it's been one that I haven't gone back to because we've been using Microsoft OneNote a ton. But GoFormative is actually really good because you can take a scan of whatever, which converts it to a PDF, and then you can actually put those text boxes where you want the answer, and then it'll actually grade it for you. Is that right?
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some other things. There's a paid version, and then there's the free version.
Right.
The paid version has a lot more things to it, a lot more types of problems you can put into it. But the free version still is pretty good. One of the things that the students have been able to do is, one of the things that we've been doing is we've been creating videos of ourselves teaching, or we're grabbing videos off YouTube or whatever that go along with what we've been covering. And so we would teach a lesson, create a lesson, put it on YouTube, and then we can link it right into their assignment through GoFormative. So they can watch the video right there. And then it's basically they're getting the lesson in person because they're seeing us teach it, or they're seeing someone else teach it. So I think that's been really valuable for the kids to be able to access that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a ton of different technology platforms out there that you can use that, I mean, right now, if you're a technology company, I mean, now is your time, time to shine. But there are a few that are going to be, I'm trying to think of the right words, but they're gonna outlast the pandemic. They're gonna be ones that you're gonna continue to use post COVID. And is there one in particular that you think you're going to continue to use once you're back face to face? No masks, no nothing. That school is back to quote unquote normal. But is there one platform that you're going to be like, okay, I saw how this worked and I'm going to continue to use it?
So I've used things like Flipgrid before, and that's a pretty good program for just bringing out a lot of the creativity that the kids have in creating their own videos and stuff like that. I definitely know I'm going to probably be continuing that process. Just to give them another avenue to show what they know, versus just always having one particular method to show evidence of their learning. So I think a lot of these things I'm starting to kind of get ideas of how I can run my classroom in the future, as far as also I mean, we were, even before the COVID, I was already starting to implement a lot of the technology. I was using Microsoft Teams quite a bit already to get kids to engage and turn in their work electronically and stuff. And that's all stuff that's going to be still important, because, if they're college or work or wherever they do in life, a lot of it's going to be all electronic,
Right.
And so, my own daughter's taking college classes right now through the local community college, and all her work is just turned in through the college Canvas system,
Right.
And so it's something that they have to get used to. They have to learn how to use technology, format it, format their work, show their evidence, learn basics of just even Word documents,
Oh yeah.
It's stuff that kids just need to know now.
Yeah. No, and that's a interesting point. Right there is the skills that, when it comes to things like that you don't even think about, because we took for granted. We took high school courses and things and whatnot, and in how to do that, but now it's almost like we need to remember to go back and teach these kids how to use Microsoft Word and how to, it sounds weird, but how to properly format an email and the proper etiquette for an email, or there's an old term that I'm just thinking of, but netiquette, the internet. So for the netiquette that kids need to have for things, it's almost gone because it's morphed into digital citizenship and all that, but it's kind of morphed around to just social media. So it's an interesting thought, and it's one of those. It's weird because I remember growing up learning how to do cursive and learning how to do a handwritten letter through snail mail, as we call it now. Mm-hmm. But now it's almost changed to how do you send an email?
Yeah, even emails are they've been around so long that it's one of those things that we just assume it's something that people should know how to do, and and I even had it with my own daughters. Like, we didn't really, we were kind of protective of them as far as the internet and stuff like that. And also the social media, we really didn't allow a lot of that growing as they grew up. Mm-hmm. But what they're finding is, we are finding out, like, all right, you need to send an email to someone. So mm-hmm. like, it's just like, they're asking, how do we do that? Well, what do you mean, how do you do that? You got your email here. This is how you compose an email. This is where you put the title, or what it's about. I've even taught that. I had an advisory class this year, and one of the things we did with our advisory class is we just talked to them about how to go through and do simple tasks with Microsoft, and how to access Microsoft Outlook, or Outlook, how to send an email. What would an appropriate email look like to your teacher? If you have questions, don't just write a question. I get some who just write a question, put nothing in the message box. The grammar is all off. There's and it's just like one sentence, and it's just not clear. And I'm like, and I often have to reply back to them like, can you explain more, or whatever, what you're trying to ask here, or whatever. And so we were teaching them, okay, how do you write a formal email? It used to be a formal letter. Now it's a formal email. So you're going to have to write an email to your boss or your teacher or whoever. How are you going to write that? So they had to practice, dear so-and-so, or, and then they would write their nice paragraph, sincerely. So we practiced.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to send me emails, and I had to kind of critique their emails and give them feedback and stuff like that. So it is a skill that kids don't even know, because they're so used to now the social media aspect, where it's just a lot of it is it's so informal. The conversation, the register is that they're using is different.
Well, that not only that, but like they use so many random terms and acronyms, and it's like, what are you saying?
That's just because we're old fogies.
Well, yes, but it's when I see all these random letters here, I'm like, what? Like, I have no clue what you're saying, and then I have to ask. I'm like, oh. Just spell it out.
Yeah. I get that with my daughters. They use these terms, and I try to use the terms just because, I like to annoy them, and they're like, Dad, you're not using that term right. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, with that, as we're still trying to get Jeff back on, you need to restart your computer every now and then, and it happens. but we kind of have some good fun dad jokes come in. And with that, do you have any good dad jokes?
Oh man, let me think here. I was just thinking of one earlier. What was that one? Can't even think of it now.
It happens. It happens. In our old age, it happens.
Yeah. Can't remember as much as I used to.
Yeah, and as I'm looking at your background in your man cave, which is a fantastic man cave for those of you that are listening online and not being able to see us, behind him is a few good memories that Mark and I have had between the championship trophy of our fantasy football league, which is a shout out to our good old friend who's now a chaplain in the military, Steve Barstow. Back in middle school, way back when we started the fantasy football league, and he would hand score. No joke. He would hand score from the newspaper, from the box scores, the scores and whatnot. And we've been playing for however many years ago that's been, over 20. My name's on there once. I've only won it once. Mark's won it how many times now? He's got to check here.
I think 3 times, at least this league.
At least 3 times in this league, which we credit because
and the other league you're in, I think I won it like 5 times.
He did, but we credit it because his wife would fill in the random spot that we needed filled, and we knew it was rigged. And he would work out some very interesting trades between the two teams.
I think you're just a little bitter, Keith. Because, what was the last season we played? What was your record?
What?
What was your record the last season we played?
You got cut off there. I can't hear you.
No, I think I was very clear what I said.
No, I have no clue what you said.
So this Tyler Keefe here was the first person in our league, in the history of our league, ever to go winless in the fantasy.
No, I won 1 game.
No, you did not. You went winless. You were the Tyrone Willingham of the fantasy.
You had to go there.
I went there. In fact,
Paul Wolf of fantasy football.
Paul Wolf beat Tyler Willingham. That's how bad
he did.
Was.
He did.
That's how bad that team was.
That is true. That is true. And speaking of, behind you, you have a Seahawks plaque with a bunch of different autographs on. And this was back in the day when they were not practicing at the VMAC in Redmond, but back when they were at Eastern Washington University in Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it, and I could be wrong, but do you have an old picture of you and I going to the Seahawks training camp?
I pulled it off the wall here.
Ooh, see it? I do. That is me and you. And who's the player back there?
Your favorite player?
Favorite player? What do you mean?
That is one Marcus Trufant, who played at a very good, prestigious football school. That is being represented up here. And I believe at the time that we met him and talked with him, you went and what did you say to him?
I said, "Hey, Marcus, go Seahawks."
No. That's not what you said.
Oh, what did I say? I don't know. What did I say?
I believe you said go Cougs.
I never said that.
You said go Cougs.
That's fake news.
To Marcus Trufant. And I have never said go Dogs in my life.
Oh, you just did. I heard you. Oh, you said it.
Just other than just in context of what I didn't say. But there was a clear context when you said go Cougs to Marcus Trufant, because you wanted to let him know that you were representing and you loved what he represented.
You know, I think you're making stuff up.
Oh, no.
That is fake news. And Jeff, glad to see you back.
Yeah, finally. My computer is like old people driving. It's slow and sloppy.
Well, it's time to get that beast replaced.
It's 7 years old, so I guess it could be.
Oh, 7 years old in computer years, that's like 700 years old.
Is it?
It is. It is.
So I might as well have like a stone tablet and a chisel, and then.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I mean, the fact that we can see you right now is good, and we can hear you. But yeah.
So what I miss?
Everything.
Tyler said go Ducks.
No, I did not. Nope.
I thought he would come around. Yeah.
He is professing how much he loved the Ducks.
Yeah.
Well, that 0 on the side of the Ducks helmet represents the number of national championships they've had.
See, this is just what.
And actually, the number of national championships that WSU has had too.
This is just the incompetence of a Husky fan not being able to tell the difference between a 0 and an O.
They look the same.
I'm pretty sure. What you got? 1, and you had to share it or something.
No. Hello. We've had a few, like 3.
Have you?
We may have claimed 2 of them, but we've claimed them with pride.
So you were basically pulling a, what was that school that claimed the national championship a few years ago?
UCF.
Yeah, you pulled a UCF, huh?
Yes, but that'd be like Boise State thinking that they won it after beating Oklahoma in the 2007 Fiesta Bowl.
All right, I'm going to say something here. You're only going to hear this once, and you're not going to hear it again. That game was one of the best games I have ever watched. That was a good game.
It was a great game, and Mark, you and I watched it in your apartment.
Yeah, I remember we were. I don't remember, we were doing something, but then we just had to stop and just watch the game.
No, we were playing Madden.
Yeah, was that it?
Yeah, it was me, you, and Josh that you were talking about earlier.
Oh,
we were watching it. It was right after you moved in.
Okay, yeah.
As your house was getting built.
Yeah, so we were playing Madden, and we had to go to the game, and we just couldn't keep our eyes off of it.
Yeah, it was nuts. And it was a great game. Not one of the, probably in the top 10, maybe not top 5 for me. Mm-hmm. But I include the games that I've been at that have been, a lot more interesting. If I was at that game, yes, it'd probably be in the top 3. But I wasn't there, so it's going to be in the top 10.
I just remember moving here that year. I moved over here that year, and I kept seeing all this blue and orange stuff. And I was like, what is all this? What is all this stuff? And then they started talking about that they were going to be playing Oklahoma. And all I can think of is you realize who you're playing.
Right.
You realize this is like one of the greatest college teams to ever exist. And it didn't faze them at all. So although I guess Oklahoma had a lot of second stringers playing because there were several that were injured. Several first stringers. So what?
Jeff, nobody down here talks about that.
No,
that's rational. That's reasonable. We won't talk about that part of it. And especially don't tell a fellow PE teacher of yours, Corey, that part of it. Just shh.
All right. You didn't hear that, Corey. You didn't hear that. All right. Let's move on.
Nobody heard that.
Okay.
But with that, we're gonna wrap up this episode because we've gone an hour 15 minutes. So if you stuck with us this long, you deserve a prize, and Mark will send you a carton of Cougar cheese. So be sure to send him a direct message on Twitter. You can find him somewhere on Twitter, I think. Probably not. But
Keith, you scared me for a second. What? You scared me for a second because I thought you were going to say he will send you a picture of his belly button. That's where I thought you were going to go. And I was like, no, dude, don't. No, come on now.
Somewhere I have a Little Tykes piano that Zane still has, and there is a picture of Mark's belly button on it. I will need to find it, and when I do, I will tweet that picture out. I just heard from the other room that Brandy, my wife, said she knows where it is. So this is going to come out quicker than we thought. But with that, I appreciate it. Mark, thank you for joining us. This has been a blast. We're going to have you on a few more times because it's been too much fun. And so any parting thoughts, Mark?
It's been great to be on here. I've enjoyed it. It's my first podcast I've ever been a part of, so it's kind of interesting, kind of exciting. So I look forward to maybe doing another one here.
Oh yeah, if we need to get a third on the Teacher Dudes, let's do it. What do you say, Jeff? Should we formally not introduce, but what's the word? I can't think of the word, but should we let Mark join the Teacher Dudes?
He could definitely be someone who could be on here. If for any other reason, then when my technology fails, you're not running solo.
The initiate. That's the word I'm thinking. Initiate.
So we have to come up with an initiation process now?
Oh, he's already had it. He's good.
Oh, he's already had it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
That hazy was uncool.
Yeah.
That was uncool. I'm going to have a scar after that, Keith.
It's true. But Jeff, any parting thoughts?
I have none.
All right. Well, thank you all. And here you go. If you'd like to join us live and interact in future shows or to be a guest on the show, be sure to follow Tyler Keefe on Twitter @Keefe67 and like the Teacher Dudes on Facebook. If you haven't already subscribed to the Teacher Dudes, hit that subscribe button on whichever platform you're listening to, and be sure to also leave us a rating.